I don't need you. I'm here. I'm safe. I don't need you. No one needs you.
I used to dream of this, of water that never stops flowing. Water that feeds the land until the land can't take any more. He said, where the mind is, there is the treasure. That's what he said.
In the day, I hide by the sea. In the night, here, in my own cattle shed. I'm at this safe. I can now walk into my house and embrace my wife and my children. Perhaps I never will. Perhaps I have deserved it.
I've drunk from it. Yes, me. It was so sharp, climbing down the moss and lichen where they have their own treachery. I know what's hiding there. It's so much better than he said. It's like he was only telling us part of it. He isn't here. I don't know where he is. They hated me. They envied my words. They wished that they'd spoken them. They wished they'd heard what I heard. Now, the water, it speaks to me. He knew it would. That's what he told me.
He went into the desert. This is my desert. He saw spirits, and they spoke to him. Perhaps I will. I saw our ships yesterday. My nephew has them now. He's good too. I taught him. He's got a crew. Some of my men and others I didn't recognise. He used my calls. To the left, and down, drag to the right, and heave. He makes me proud. I keep thinking about that night. You know him. You were with him, that girl said. And I did, I was. No, it wasn't me. I didn't know him. I said to her. You did? She kept going on, shouting, and people turned to me and stared and pointed me out to the guards, and so I ran, I hid. Just like now. I heard them shout behind me. Where is he? And now I ask the same thing. Where has he gone?
One night, soon after he died, the brothers were talking. I waited at the edge of the fire, They knew I was there, but they didn't want to ask. No, they didn't want me to ask to get closer. They knew what I'd say, especially Kepper. He looked at me without turning his head, pretending to listen to the others, but I knew. I heard Kepper say,
"How shall we go to the Gentiles and preach the gospel of the kingdom of the Son of Man? If they didn't spare him, how will they spare us?"
From where I was in the shadows, I called out, "Do not weep, and not grieve, nor be irresolute, for his grace will be entirely with you and will protect you." Kepper was afraid. He couldn't help himself. He said,
"Sister, we know that the Saviour loved you more than the rest of women. Tell us the words of the Saviour, which you remember, which you know. We do not, nor have we heard them."
He said this, "What is hidden from you, and I will proclaim to you. All nature, all formations, all creatures exist in and within one another. And they will be resolved again into their own roots. For the nature of matter is resolved into the roots of its own nature alone. He has ears to hear. Let him hear."
Is that right? What did he tell you about the sin of the world?
He told me there is no sin, but is you who makes sin when you do things that are like the nature of adultery, which is called sin. Matter gave birth to a passion that has no equal, which proceeded from something contrary to nature. And then there arises a disturbance in its whole body. He said to me, "Be of good courage, and if you're discouraged, and be encouraged in the presence of the different forms of nature. He who has a mind to understand, let him understand."
How can we believe you?
I saw the Lord in a vision, and I said to him, "Oh Lord, I saw you today in a vision." And he answered and said to me, "Blessed are you that you did not waver at the sight of me. For where the mind, there is treasure." I said to him, "Oh Lord, how does he who sees the vision see it through the soul or through the spirit?" The Saviour answered, and he said, "He does not see through the soul, nor through the spirit, but the mind that is in between the two, that That's what sees the vision.
Tell us the truth. What did he say to you?
He said this. The first form is darkness. The second is desire. The third is ignorance. The fourth is the excitement of death. The fifth is the kingdom of the flesh. The sixth is the foolish wisdom of the flesh. And the seventh is wrathful wisdom. These are the 7 powers of wrath. Desire said to the soul, I did not see you descending, but I saw you ascending. Why do you lie, since you belong to me? The soul answered and said, I saw you. You did not see me nor recognize me. I served you as a garment, and you did not know me. When it said this, the soul went away, rejoicing greatly. And then ignorance questioned the soul, saying, where are you going? In wickedness are you bound? And the soul said, why? Why do you judge me? Although I have not judged. I was bound, though I have not bound. I was not recognized. But I have recognized that all is being dissolved, both the earthly things, heavenly. And when the soul had overcome ignorance, it went upwards and saw the 4th power, which took 7 forms. And the 7 forms asked the soul, whence you came? Slayer of men, or where are you going? Conqueror of space? The soul answered and said, what binds me has been slain, and what turns me about has been overcome, and my desire has been ended. And ignorance has died, and in an eon I was released from a world, and in a type and from the fetter of oblivion, which is transient. And from this time on will I attain the rest of time, of the season, of the eon. In silence.
I, at least, do not believe that the Saviour said these things. Certainly, these teachings are strange ideas. Did he really speak privately to a woman and not openly to us? Are we to turn about and all listen to her? Did he prefer her to us?
My brother kept her. What do you think? Do you think that I have thought all this up myself in my heart? Or that I'm lying to you about the Saviour?
And Andreas said, but if the Saviour made her worthy, who are you, indeed, to reject her? Surely the Saviour knows her very well. That's why he loved her more than us. Rather let us be ashamed. He may well say that. I cannot. I must find peace in other ways. And loyal. I loved him. You wouldn't want me to leave my family to the mercy of the soldiers. I love my children. My wife will say, "Why did you leave us then?" But I never left them. Not really. Now here I am. So it'll be all right. And as for Mariam, no one will believe her. She's convinced herself, but no one else. Perhaps I'll stay where I am. I'll wait. He'll be here. She said he would.
All I need is here, the kingdom of peace. But I'm not made to hide. There's beauty and there's fear. I must walk with fear. If I have to do that alone, then that's what I'll do. I knew him. I heard him. They say, oh, it's a vision. And if it is, so what? I was there, and they weren't. Kepper, Andreas, and the others. They didn't stand in the tomb's rock darkness, clutching a candle in the cool air. I was there.